Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Kristen. I am so excited to be able to film for you guys today. It has been a crazy week, about 5-6 days or so. I don't know if any of you have been watching the news or if you live on the East Coast of the United States, but you may have seen that Florida was just affected by the Category 4 Hurricane Matthew, and the East Coast, Georgia, South Carolina, and North Carolina are being ravaged as we speak. We were very, very lucky and spared the worst of this storm. We didn't lose power. We didn't lose cable. So I'm really, really thankful to be able to film for you guys today. We had minimal damage. We just kind of had to put the house back together a little bit. I still didn't think I was going to get to film as early as today, so I'm super happy that I'm able to. We haven't closed the blinds back there yet. I still need to move some things around, so I'm sorry if it's a little bit bright. But it is time for my bi-weekly makeup basket, and to be completely honest with you, I hadn't thought a whole lot about this because of the storm. There's been so much preparation and so much cleanup afterwards. Even though we didn't get much damage, we still had to take some of our shutters down. In the next week, this hurricane is supposed to loop back around and possibly come back towards our area in Florida, but it hopefully will not be as strong, likely will not be as strong, but we're not going to take everything completely down yet because we may need to board up again. It's just been nuts. But yesterday I kind of went through some things, decluttered a few things actually, and figuring out what I wanted to pull. But for a couple of weeks now, I've been thinking that I want to just start working through some of the stuff in my collection. I've been watching a lot of declutter videos and I'm very inspired. I'm not motivated enough to kind of dump everything on my floor and really go through everything. I kind of want to try things in my collection before I declutter them, though, like I said, I did pick out a few things to declutter because I know that I can declutter those things, but I don't have a whole lot in my collection that I can, well, I can't say that, but I don't know everything in my collection that I can just pick up and declutter without giving it a shot or comparing it against something else. So I'm going to approach decluttering for the rest of this year a little bit different than I might in the coming year. I might be a little more organized, do some declutter videos. I still haven't decided whether I'm going to do declutter videos for the things that I've decided to declutter, because I did a massive go through of my blushes and bronzers and all that kind of stuff at the beginning of the year. A lot of my eyeshadows and stuff. So I've got that all set aside, and I don't want to just do a video showing you everything that I've decided to declutter, rather than going through and saying I want to keep this or I want to declutter this. I like those videos better rather than going, this is everything I'm going to declutter. So like I said, I've just been very disorganized this year. I'm getting off on a tangent, but it ties into this basket this week. What I have decided I wanted to start doing is pulling some things that I haven't used or haven't used in a long time, thought I used to like, thought I used to hate, might possibly want to try again, and kind of almost put some things head to head a little bit and pick one or the other at the end of 2 weeks that I would like to keep in my collection, or maybe declutter even both of them. So I kind of have two of everything that I'm considering decluttering or keeping. So I will go ahead and show those things to you. Also, what I've decided to do with my eyeshadows, I want to start going through all of my palettes. I don't know if that will ultimately lead to a declutter of any of my palettes or not, but I kind of want to go through my palettes and at least get some use out of them. And I thought the easiest way for me to do that would be to go brand by brand and kind of use one or two palettes each week from that brand and see how far that gets me. So I'll go ahead and show you that when we get to the eyeshadows in the video. So I'm using the same foundations, my CoverGirl Ready Set Gorgeous and my MAC Studio Fix Fluid. I am using the Becca Backlight Priming Filter deluxe sample, and I'm also using a Too Faced Hangover RX Little Mini for primers because the Becca is in a project pan of mine. And so we'll just start with blushes. Those are the things that I'm still using so far. So I have a couple of color ranges. I didn't want to go all dark and you know, wine berry kind of colors for this basket, but I did pull some peaches and some mauve kind of colors. So the first one I have here is this color CoverGirl True Blend Blush in the shade Deep Mauve. I haven't used this at all, so I want to see how I like this. And I used to really like this blush. This is the L'Oreal Paris Project Runway in the Temptress's blush. And I swatched this on my hand last night, and I felt like it might be really powdery. These were like my early days of makeup when I was like, yeah, I love this so much, and I've tried so many different things since then that I don't know that I would really love this blush now. And I thought it might be really similar to that CoverGirl blush. So we will see how this goes. There is one more blush that I wanted to pull after watching somebody's video today. I'm going to go grab that, and I will be right back. So this blush is totally just for fun. It's a little bit of a brighter berry, and as sad as it is one that I haven't even used since I got it, and it's a matte collection from several years ago, and this is the Archie's Girl Veronica blush in the color Prom Princess. So this is what that looks like. And it is a little bit darker just like the other two, but it is a little bit of a brighter berry shade, and it reminded me that I need to start using these matte collections as well. So what I might start doing is pulling individual matte collections and doing that as well, because I used to purchase like the whole collection. So so I may start pulling some matte collections. I'm gonna go ahead and swatch these other two blushes for you so you can kind of see what they look like. The one. Okay, so this is the Prom Princess. This is the L'Oreal Temptress blush, and this is the Deep Mauve from CoverGirl. So they do look a little bit different. That Prom Princess is a little bit of a brighter shade. So I'm looking forward to using those three in the next 2 weeks and seeing how much I like both of these and seeing which one I might want to keep. I might keep both of them. I'm gonna guess that I'm gonna keep the CoverGirl one, but this is the iffy. Definitely not gonna get rid of this blush unless there's something horrifically wrong with it, if it's patchy or something like that, but I like my collections. So the next blush, this is in the kind of darker peach kind of vein, I guess, but this is the e.l.f. blush in the color Candid Coral, and it's a little bit of a darker peach shade, so I think I can get away with this in the fall. And this is one that I might want to consider decluttering, so I wanted to kind of put this in my basket. So there's that shade right there. I am not one that follows the seasonal colors, so I just wear whatever, but I do try to stay away from the really bright colors in the fall time. The next blush that I have is the Maybelline Master Highlight by Face Studio in the color Coral. Some might feel like this is a little bit brighter in the fall time, but like I said, I really don't care about the colors per se, but I do think this pulls a little bit darker even though it looks quite light on my finger. I do Sorry, I had an itch. I do think this is wearable for the fall time. Plus, we're kind of skirting out of summer. It's still hot here in Florida, so we're kind of still in summer. So there's that. And I'm thinking that I may end up decluttering the e.l.f. blush, but I may keep them both. I don't foresee myself decluttering this, but we will see. As far as bronzer goes, you guys know that in my last basket, or in my favorites video, I can't remember. I think it was in my favorites video because I filmed it here. I talked about the MAC blush in Sweet as Cocoa, and I absolutely love that blush as a bronzer. So it's going to make me really sad to avoid using it in the next 2 weeks, but I did want to pull a couple of bronzers because I really need to purge that part of my collection as well. So one of the first ones I want to pull is this Maybelline Dream Sun in the color Four Seasons. I watched a declutter video, and I can't remember who now, but she really enjoyed this bronzer. I have used it in the past. I can't remember what I think of it, and this was one that she decided to keep, and she decluttered many others that I probably would have kept. So maybe I will love this just as much and want to keep it. But I wanted to give it a shot. I will show you what this looks like. This seems to be a matte bronzer, and I will go ahead and show that to you. It is on the warmer side. It's right there. I'm sorry, these swatches, I need to kind of do them a little bit more. But that is what that shade looks like right there. And I also pulled this NYC Sun and Bronze bronzing powder in the shade Fire Island Tan. I have a bunch of these from NYC, and I know that I really love Montauk Bronze, and so I didn't even bother to pull that one. I just went straight to this one, which I have used before, and I believe that I really did like, but I wanted to kind of put it head to head with this one, and they seem very similar. So I will have to see which one I really enjoy wearing on my skin and decide which one I want to keep. This one does seem a little bit darker. This might seem a little more warm and on the lighter side, but looking at them, they look pretty similar. So I'm not sure how they will perform on the face and which one I will prefer, but I do really want to come to a decision on one of the two of these by the end of the 2 weeks. So I'm really going to try and evaluate these two, see where that gets me. The next thing that I have is some highlighters, and I haven't really been taking the time to do any cream highlighting in the last several weeks. I really have to force myself to use my Benefit What's Up highlighter, but I do have a couple of other highlighting products that are cream that I really want to give a shot to, and one of those I actually left. I will grab that in a minute, but the first one is this Maybelline Master Glaze by Face Studio blush stick, and I actually got this. This is in the shade Nude Rebellion, and I actually got this from Candy Powder and Blush. She sent this to me in a nice little care package last year, and I haven't yet used this, so I wanted to go ahead and give this a shot. There's not a whole lot of product here, so it is bigger in diameter than the Benefit What's Up, but it's definitely a lot more short than the mini of the Benefit What's Up highlighter. So I want to see if I can get any use out of this at all. Now the thing about this is it's quite a dark highlight, so we'll see how I go with this. But the next product that I wanted to give a shot to is this Wet n Wild Light Up My Hibiscus, and this is a pinkier kind of highlight. I haven't used this at all. I know a lot of people said that they really didn't like these last year, so I wanted to give that a shot, but that's definitely a darker pinky highlight, and so I'm going to see how I like that, and see if I want to declutter either of these. I'll be right back with the other cream highlight that I wanted to use this basket. I adjusted the lighting a little bit because it was getting a little bit bright. This is a cream highlight from Laura Mercier that I got a long time ago and I haven't used it. And this is in the shade Golden Pink. And I swatched this in store before I bought it and I fell in love. It's super gorgeous. I have way more cream products than I can ever possibly use, and I just want to get some use out of a lot of them to prevent any of them from going bad before I can even get some use out of the product. I don't think I will ever realistically finish anything before it goes bad or dries up, but I'm going to try my damnedest. So this is actually loose in the packaging, so I'm going to go ahead and hold it up like this. This is what it looks like right here, and I will go ahead and give you a finger swatch. This is what this looks like right here, which looks like absolutely nothing and may still look like nothing when I go ahead and swatch this for you. But this is that highlight right there. Very, very, very reflective, but I think subtle at the same time. It's gorgeous, and I'm really, really excited to get a chance to use this highlighter because I haven't used it yet. So 3 cream products. I don't know how I'll do with that in the next 2 weeks. Sometimes I'm in a little bit of rush in the morning when I'm getting ready for work, but I'm going to try my best to really get some use out of those products. And then powder highlights. I know probably a little bit of overkill, but I really, really do want to try and get some things out of my collection. So the first thing is this Wet n Wild in a Purple Haze blush, and I immediately thought that I wanted to declutter this because this is really, really frosty on my cheeks. It accentuates my pores. I feel like it looks terrible on me, and I almost want to do the same thing with Max Lovejoy, but I want to give it a little bit more of a chance and try it maybe on the backs of my cheeks or something like that. But if I keep that blush, I'm not going to keep this one, and I would keep that one over this one anyways. So I might still keep this in my collection as a highlight because it is so frosty. It almost has barely any color payoff, but the color payoff it does have has that purple shift. So it's got a really nice sheen with a purple shift, and I think it's a really unique kind of highlighter shade. So I wanted to go ahead and give it a shot for that. As you can see, it's really lilac-y, really, really, you know, nice sheen, and I wonder if it would look nice over that. I just kind of put it a little bit, oh, that's pretty. I just kind of put it over the Laura Mercier, and then this is it right here by itself. So as you can see, like almost no color payoff. I'm sure this lighting is probably washing it out quite a bit, but I think this would be a really nice lilac kind of highlight. I'm really thinking of the Anastasia Beverly Hills Moonchild, or whatever that's called, palette with all those really unique shades of highlighter in it. And then the NYX palette has a little bit of a lilac shade in it as well. So I might even go one step further if I decide to keep it and kind of compare it to that shade, and then maybe still ultimately declutter it if it's very similar to that shade, because I haven't delved into that shade in that palette since I've had it, even though I've used it with other shades and stuff. So I do think this is really, really pretty over this Laura Mercier Golden Pink though. Like that could be a really, really pretty combination. Like I said, this light is probably washing it out, but I don't know. I think I can see that there. Probably still isn't doing it the justice. I really think that's a gorgeous combination. So I'm really, really excited about that now. I didn't even think about it before. But one of the things that I've been wanting to use, I really love the packaging, and I still feel like I want to keep it even if I don't like the product and want to declutter it. But at the same time, the reason why I want to declutter it is because of its size. So if I don't like it, I really want to get rid of the bulky packaging. So this is the Cinderella collection from Walgreens. This is a Dream Come True highlighter. Super cute packaging. This is everything that I wanted the MAC Cinderella collection to be. I wish they had something like this, maybe on a smaller scale, that it looked like this. you know, the packaging is similar color. I really like the pearlized packaging. I did get a compact from that collection, so I'm really happy with that. But I really wish that I didn't have to purchase this as like a cheap product from Wet n Wild, or no, what, it's not even Wet n Wild, but from Disney, that I may not even like the product and I'm gonna have to waste because I may want to get rid of it. But you know, in theory, like, these color wheels are really, really pretty, but I'm not sure that this has enough color payoff for me. It's really, really subtle. You can kind of see. You might even say a little chalky, maybe. So that might even be pretty over top of one of the, you can't even see it. So, you know, I'm not sure. I'll see how this performs on my cheeks. I'm pretty sure I'm going to end up decluttering it or wanting to declutter it because of the performance of the product itself. But like I said, the packaging, I really don't want to get rid of it. So this leads me to my eyeshadows for the next 2 weeks. I am currently using the Lorac Mega Pro palette. I'm going to go ahead and show you that real quick because my goal for using this past basket, before I considered starting to go through my palettes brand by brand, was that I had a lot of shades in here that I thought I could hit pan on. So I wanted to share with you my progress in the last 2 weeks with this palette. So I am still working on this shade in Apricot, and I'm going to use this again tomorrow. I'm hoping that I can hit pan tomorrow on this shade. If I do, it will be the 4th shade that I was able to hit pan on in the last 2 weeks. So the first one that I hit pan on is this shade right here in brown. I don't know if you could see that. The next pan that I hit was this shade right here in cashmere. It's a teeny tiny little bit there, and it's hard to see with the color of the product. And then the most recent pan that I hit is this color right here in Wisteria. So I did really well with this palette. I do still want to hit one more shade. Like I said, these are very powdery eyeshadows, but they perform really, really well. They blend really, really well. If I had to critique, I would say that Apricot is probably the least pigmented or the poorest performing shadow that I've used in the last 2 weeks. I have used a couple different shadows from this palette as well, but I really focused on the eye looks surrounding the colors that I thought I could hit pan on that were the closest. So that is that. And then also last basket, I wanted to see how far I could get with this Makeup Geek shade in Beaches and Cream, and I made a lot of progress on this. I also realized that there's a shade in the Lorac palette that is very similar to this that I wanted to start using to try and hit pan on, but I really wanted to finish this shade. So I really think that even though I didn't finish this in the last 2 weeks, I'm going to keep using this. This is going to be one of the shades that I use in the next 2 weeks. I've been using it as my brow bone highlight and to blend out my crease shade. And I think I'm going to definitely be able to finish this by the end of the year, which is really exciting. I know this video is getting long, so I really want to wrap this up. But the palettes that I'm going to be using the next 2 weeks are the Lorac Pro Original and the Lorac Original Unzipped palette. Everybody and their mother has seen this, but this is the Lorac Pro palette. This is very fall appropriate, lots of darker colors, some shades that I think I could hit pan on in this palette. So I'm going to continue that quest. I have hit pan on 20 eyeshadows so far this year, so I'm really, really excited about that and want to continue working on that goal to see how many pans I can hit. And this Lorac Unzipped palette, if you haven't seen it, is a lot of rosy shades I thought would pair really well with that Lorac Pro palette. So this is what that looks like. Nowhere near hitting pan on any of these. The formula is just a little bit different. They're not as powdery. They're bigger pans, so I don't have any hope of hitting pan on anything in this palette, but I did want to go ahead and use a couple palettes at a time because I do have so many palettes. So I paired this one up with the original Lorac Pro. I have a couple of lip shades that I want to give a shot to, as well as working on my Project Pan or 16 and 2016 lip products, which is going really poorly. But anyways, what I'm wearing today with the shine kind of blotted off, I didn't want it really thick on my lips. This is the Pop Beauty, I don't know if this is a lip gloss or what, in the color Peony Petal. I just wanted to see if this was something I wanted to declutter. So far, I really enjoy this, so this probably will be one that I'm keeping. The next lip gloss is this NYX shade in the color Beige, which is another one that I saw in somebody's declutter, and they did keep this. This is probably one of my favorite shades from that. It's still got that really sweet candy smell to it, which I really like, so I'm going to go ahead and keep that one. And one that I think I'm probably going to end up decluttering, but I wanted to give it a chance. This is the Total Intensity from Prestige, and this is in the shade Wine Not. It's quite dark berry, but it has, I don't think you can even see it, it's got some pretty noticeable glitters in it, so I'm not sure, like I hate when it deposits on your lips after the color comes off and you've just got glitter on your lips. So if this does that, it's gone. This was a recommendation way in the past from Mrs. Lola Lynn here on YouTube, and so it looked really, really gorgeous on her. Her swatches were really nice, so I went ahead and purchased it at one point, I think when Prestige was going out of one of the stores that I shop at. So that is it for my bi-weekly makeup basket that I'm so glad I got to film. I didn't anticipate it being this long. I was really, really chatty in this one, so I do apologize. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for being patient with me. It definitely has been a crazy week. So again, thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.
Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel.